Duffy because I think he's kind of a polarizing person. I think if anybody's seen Overnight, definitely forms an opinion of him, but not a lot of people have first-hand experience with him. So what's it like? You made 2 films with him. What's it like working with Troy Duffy?
He's great, actually. I mean,
he's a fucking dick.
Polarizing figure.
I've said it before. I mean, if you have enough footage of Santa Claus, you can edit it to make him look like an asshole. You know what I mean? But he was a really nice guy. They kind of direct you like this. I remember the courtroom scene, up on that thing. He directed us like this. He was like, "You deliver these people." You know, instead of saying action, so you're just like, "Fuck yeah."
You know, it definitely is a different kind of bedside manner. You know what I mean? It's like, especially, you know, with actresses on the set. You know, Julie was the first, you know, real female, bigger character that we've had in any of the films. You know what I mean? A lot of times,
besides
actors.
Rocco.
What's that?
Besides Rocco.
Yeah. You know, I mean, a lot of times they're used to, you know, being directed like thespians. In this next scene, think chocolate and coal. Go. You know, and Troy's the one that's like, "This guy killed your father, you go in and you fucking deliver him!" You know, and like a lot of actresses are like, "Ah!" You know, so it's a little different. You know, he's got a different bedside manner, but you know, once you get past that, he's a good dude. You know, yeah, I go to barbecues at his house, I'm in touch with him all the time, so is Norm. We never weren't in touch with the cat, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you're in the industry like we are, you can see how you can edit things together. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's you know, it's definitely a very effective documentary. You know? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It looked like you guys were having so much fun on the set. Like,
Well,
it seems like
check it
you're a
out.
family.
I mean, that's an effective documentary, right? There's a lot of people that think, "Wow, Troy Duffy, what a dick," right? Whereas, like, I'm not sure too many people, if they get sick, they're headed to Cuba. So Michael Moore might not be as effective a documentarian, you know what I mean?
Do you think they might have gone into making that documentary with an agenda?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I think what happened is they asked Troy for money, and that wasn't the deal. And Troy was like, "All my money's in this movie," and so they're like, you know,
They were douches.
So yeah,
All
they
right.
were total assholes.
Good to know.
So jumping back to Boondock Saints, after it opened up at box office, it was only in like five theaters for like a week.
You know, when you say it's opened up in theaters, it really didn't. I mean,
Yeah, it didn't have a
Duffy
chance.
and the producers paid to have it in theaters.
Oh, really?
Just basically for the cast.
Yeah, just for the cast to go and see. You know, we wanted to see it on the big screen. You know?
Yeah.
But nobody went to see it. Nobody checked it out. You know.
Well, what were your feelings after that?
You know what? You do independent films, and you got to go into it knowing that there's a 95% probability that it's never going to see the light of day. You know, so just the fact that it came out at all, we were like, "Wow, that's cool." You know, we made a cool independent film. We dug it. You know. And lo and behold, you know, Blockbuster, they got turned on to it. You know, they put it on a shelf. They put 4 copies. Then you know, the next week I'd go in, I'd see 8 copies. The next week I'd see a shelf. Then I'd see a whole section. Then 2 sections. Then a fucking wall. I was like, "What the fuck?" You know, it was just kind of weird, and it just had a life of its own. You know.
Wait, can I do something? My mom's birthday was yesterday. You guys say happy birthday, Mom?
Definitely.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was awesome.
Well, I mean, that kind of brings us. I gotta figure out a segue out of that one. Okay, so that kind of brings us on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics gave this movie a 19%, which would put it along, like with Gulliver's Travels, which had like a 19%. But they also have a fan meter on there where the fans can rate the movie. The fans rated this film 93%, which puts it up with like The King's Speech. So, can you talk about the difference between, you know, critical acclaim and fandom? I think that this movie exemplifies.
They're all one of these movie makers. You know?
You know, at the end of the day, it's like what you dig. You know what I mean? How many times you read a music review and people are like, "Oh my God, this album changed my life." Do you listen to it like, "What a pile of garbage, man"? You know? And you listen to some the Biebs, man. That cat's killing it, right? How many people here went to a Bieb concert? You know, it's the same kind of thing. It's like, you know, you gotta, you know, throw your ticket dollars at what you dig, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, this movie is like the quintessential fan movie. I mean, it's like the fans for this movie are just rampant, you know, and they're voracious. They just like love everything that has to do with it. so obviously that leads us into Boondock Saints 2. So how did that whole thing come together between Boondock Saints and Boondock Saints 2?
I think.
Good answer, man. It fucking happened.
But there was a lawsuit as well, so we couldn't start it till like a certain time period expired. So that's pretty much why.
Long story short, we couldn't make the sequel. We had rights to the sequel, but one of the producers that was a tad bit sketchy. He had to be removed because I think he did some illegal things, and so by the time they got him extracted, we had the rights to make the sequel. We started making it the next day, and it took 10 years of litigation to make that happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So were your expectations different after the cult success of Boondock Saints 1? Were your expectations different going into Boondock Saints 2?
I think we were just excited to be doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so fun just putting on the peacoats and
And the
saying,
beards.
saying fuck every 5 seconds.
Getting the opportunity to portray that level of badassery is incomprehensible. What was that? What? Billy Connolly. What about it? Or did you just shout out, fucking Billy? It's like random shit.
Well,